My sister-in-law copied my entire wedding. Same venue, same dress, same flowers. Yours was perfect, so I improved it, she said. Except she didn't know the venue owner is my uncle. Her deposit just got lost. Yours was perfect, so I improved it, my sister-in-law Brittany said, showing me photos of her wedding planning on her phone. Same venue. The Riverside estate where I'd gotten married 6 months ago. Same blush pink color scheme. Same David's bridal dress, style number 9876. Even the same florist and the same centerpiece arrangements. What Brittany didn't know was that the venue she'd booked was actually my uncle's private estate that he only opens for family, and her $8,000 deposit had just mysteriously disappeared from his records. I sat across from her at coffee, watching her scroll through Pinterest boards that were essentially screenshots of my wedding photos with her face photoshopped in. I mean, you don't mind, right? Brittany asked, not really asking. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Besides, I made it better. I'm having a string quartet instead of a DJ, and my cake has 5 tiers instead of your 3. My wedding had been intimate and personal. Every detail chosen carefully with my husband Marcus, Brittany's brother. The venue was special because my Uncle James had offered it as his wedding gift to us. The estate had been in our family for 3 generations, and he rarely let anyone outside the family use it. Brittany, where exactly did you book this venue? I asked carefully. Online. There was a website and everything. I called the number, talked to some event coordinator, put down my deposit. My wedding is in 8 weeks. She beamed. Same weekend as yours was, actually. June 15th. Full circle, right? I pulled out my phone and texted my uncle. Did you book a wedding for June 15th? Brittany Hartwell. His response came immediately. Who? I haven't booked anything. Estate is closed for renovations June-August. Why? I looked back at Brittany. What was the name of the coordinator you spoke to? Jennifer something? Jennifer Morrison? There was no Jennifer Morrison. Uncle James managed all bookings himself with his assistant Carol. He didn't have a website. He only accepted family referrals. Brittany, I think you might have been scammed. Her face went from confident to confused. What? No, I have confirmation emails. I paid a deposit. Can I see them? She pulled up the emails on her phone. The address was riversideestatevenue@gmail.com. My uncle's actual email was jamesharrington@harringtonproperties.com. This isn't the real venue, I said. Someone created a fake website and email to scam people. My uncle owns Riverside Estate. He doesn't use Gmail, and he doesn't have a Jennifer Morrison working for him. Brittany's face drained of color. That's impossible. I paid $8,000. To a scammer, apparently. But I have a contract. From a fake email address. Brittany, my uncle owns that property privately. He only books family events. There is no public rental option. How did you even find this website? She hesitated. I might have Googled Riverside Estate wedding venue after seeing your photos. The website looked professional. Because scammers are good at making fake websites. Did you verify anything? Call my uncle directly? Check if it was actually available for public booking. Why would I need to verify? It looked legitimate. I texted my uncle again. She paid $8,000 to a scammer who created a fake website for your estate. She thinks she's getting married there in June. Jesus Christ. Tell her to report it to police and her bank. And tell her my estate is definitely not available. It's family only and we're renovating. I showed Brittany the text exchange. She stared at my phone, then at me. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're happy I got scammed. What? No, Brittany, I'm trying to help you. You never wanted me to have a wedding like yours. You were always so precious about your special day and your family venue. Now you're probably thrilled that I can't copy it. Brittany, you literally just told me you were copying my entire wedding, but making it better. And now you're mad that I'm pointing out you've been scammed. If you really wanted to help, you'd ask your uncle to honor my booking. I blinked. You're booking with a scammer? He could make an exception. For family. She said family with air quotes, reminding me that we weren't blood related. I'd married into this family, and Brittany had never fully accepted me. Brittany, my uncle's estate is closed for renovations. There's no staff available, no catering facilities, nothing. Even if he wanted to help, he couldn't. Then postpone his renovations. Are you serious right now? Her face was red now, tears starting. This was supposed to be my perfect wedding. I planned everything exactly like yours because yours was beautiful and I wanted that too. Is that so wrong? I softened slightly. No, but Brittany, Why didn't you just ask me for vendor recommendations? Or talk to me about the venue before booking? I would have told you my uncle's estate isn't available publicly. Because I wanted to surprise everyone. I wanted to walk into the same venue and have everyone say, wow, this is just like Alexis's wedding but even better. There it was. The truth. She didn't want a beautiful wedding. She wanted to compete with mine. You need to call your bank right now and report fraud, I said. The sooner you do it, the better chance you have of recovering your deposit. And you need to file a police report. Brittany started crying for real now. My wedding is in 8 weeks. I don't have another $8,000 for a new venue. Michael and I already sent save the dates with that venue on them. Michael was her fiancé, a nice guy who I suspected had very little input into any of these wedding decisions. What am I supposed to do? She sobbed. I took a breath. First, report the fraud. Second, look for venues that actually exist. Third, maybe consider a smaller wedding that you can actually afford instead of trying to copy someone else's. Easy for you to say. You got the perfect wedding at the perfect venue for free. It wasn't free. My uncle's gift was access to the venue, but we paid for everything else. Catering, flowers, photography, all of it. And it was meaningful because it was family property, not because it was expensive. Whatever. You just don't want me to have something as nice as you had. I stood up. Brittany, I'm trying to help you. But I can't make my uncle give you his private property for a wedding. And I can't make you realize that copying someone else's wedding detail by detail isn't the same as planning something meaningful. I left her at the coffee shop and went straight to Uncle James's house. This is insane, he said when I explained the situation. I need to get that fake website taken down. And probably talk to a lawyer about someone using my property's name to commit fraud. Brittany wants you to honor the booking anyway. He laughed without humor. Honor a scammer's booking? Even if I wanted to, I have contractors starting renovations next week. The place will be torn apart, walls down, new plumbing, electrical work. There's literally no way to host a wedding there. I told her that. She suggested you postpone renovations. Postpone a $200,000 renovation that's been scheduled for 6 months? For her copycat wedding. He shook his head. Alexis, I love Marcus like a nephew, but his sister is out of her mind. That night, Marcus came home from work and immediately asked, Did you tell Brittany her wedding venue is fake? She told you it was my fault? She told me you're sabotaging her wedding because you're jealous she's improving yours. I explained the entire situation. The scam website, the fake coordinator, the closed venue, the renovations. Marcus rubbed his face. So she didn't verify anything before paying $8,000 to a Gmail address? Apparently not. And now she thinks you and Uncle James are conspiring against her? Apparently yes. He sighed. I love my sister, but she's been weird about your wedding since it happened. Mom said she cried for an hour after seeing your photos because she wanted something that nice. Then she should plan something nice for herself. Not copy mine down to the napkin colors. I know. I'll talk to her. But before Marcus could talk to Brittany, she escalated. She posted on Facebook. Family isn't always supportive. Some people are so insecure about their own events that they sabotage yours. Grateful for real friends who actually want me to be happy. The comments were a mess. Half of them asked what happened, and Brittany responded with increasingly dramatic versions of the story where I'd stolen the venue out from under her and convinced my uncle to cancel her booking out of jealousy. Marcus called her immediately. Take that post down. Now. Why? I'm just telling the truth. You're lying, Brittany. You got scammed by a fake website, and instead of taking responsibility, you're blaming Alexis and Uncle James. They could help me if they wanted to. The estate is closed for renovations. There's literally construction equipment being delivered next week. They could postpone. No, they couldn't. And even if they could, why would they? You copied Alexis's entire wedding without asking, paid $8,000 to a scammer without verifying anything, and now you're acting like you're the victim. There was silence on the other end. Did you even tell Michael what happened? Marcus asked. He knows. Does he know you paid $8,000 to a scammer? Or does he think Uncle James actually canceled your booking? More silence. Brittany, take down the post. Apologize to Alexis. And figure out your actual wedding instead of trying to copy someone else's. She hung up on him. The post stayed up for 3 more hours, until apparently Michael made her take it down. He called me directly to apologize. Alexis, I'm so sorry. I had no idea she'd done any of this. When she showed me the venue, I thought it was weird that it was the exact same place as your wedding, but she said you'd recommended it. I never recommended anything to her. I know that now. He sighed. She told me she booked it through your uncle as a family discount. I didn't know she'd just Googled it and paid some random Gmail address. And I definitely didn't know she was planning to copy everything. Michael, I'm not mad at you, but she needs to accept what happened and move forward. She's devastated. The save the dates already went out with that venue's name and address. Everyone's going to know we got scammed. Then be honest. Send an update that the venue fell through and you're relocating. People will understand. She doesn't want people to know she got scammed. She doesn't want people to know she made a mistake, I corrected. But hiding it and blaming me isn't going to fix anything. Michael was quiet for a moment. You're right. I'll talk to her. 2 weeks later, Brittany and Michael sent out new save the dates for a different venue. A nice local hotel with a garden. Completely different from my wedding. She never apologized directly to me, but the Facebook post was deleted and she stopped telling people I'd sabotaged her. Uncle James did get the fake website taken down and filed a police report about someone using his property's name for fraud. The scammer was never caught, and Brittany never recovered her deposit. Her wedding happened at the hotel. It was actually lovely, smaller than she'd originally planned, more budget-friendly, and ultimately more personal because she'd been forced to make her own choices instead of copying mine. I attended with Marcus. Brittany barely spoke to me, but she was polite. At one point, her maid of honor asked about the venue change, and I heard Brittany say, "The original venue fell through. This one ended up being perfect for us." Not the whole truth, but closer to acceptance. After the reception, Uncle James pulled me aside. Did she ever admit what actually happened? Not to me, but she stopped blaming me publicly, so I'll take it. Still insane that she tried to book my private estate through a scammer and then got mad at you when it didn't work out. She wanted what I had without understanding why it was special. Because it was family, he said. Because it meant something beyond just being pretty. Exactly. 6 months later, Brittany posted wedding photos with the caption, "Our perfect day at the perfect venue. Everything happens for a reason. We ended up exactly where we were supposed to be." No mention of the scam, the copied plans, the drama. Just revisionist history where everything had always been meant to be this way. I didn't comment. Didn't like. Just let her have her narrative. Because in the end, she did have a nice wedding. Not the one she'd planned by copying mine detail by detail, but one that was actually hers. Sometimes the best thing that can happen is for your plans to fall apart, so you're forced to build something real instead. Brittany's deposit didn't just get lost. It got paid to a scammer because she was so focused on replicating my wedding that she didn't bother to verify what she was actually booking. The venue owner, being my uncle, didn't sabotage her plans. Her own lack of due diligence did that all by herself. And in trying to copy my perfect wedding, she learned the hard way that perfection isn't about the venue or the flowers or the dress. It's about what those things represent: family, thought, meaning. Things you can't copy. Things you have to create yourself. Even if it costs you $8,000 and your pride to figure that out.